ET3 is literally bringing space travel conditions down to Earth. If we think about it, every second of our lives, we're traveling through the evacuated environment of space. Everybody on Earth is orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. And the sun is traveling around the Milky Way at 200,000 miles an hour. So we're traveling somewhere in between 133,000 miles an hour and 267,000 miles an hour right now.
Daryl Oster is the founder of ET3, Evacuated Tube Transport Technologies, an open consortium of experts, physicists, engineers and investors who are promoting a patented, ecological and futuristic form of travel that could revolutionize global transport. The basic concept of ET3 is thousands of passenger capsules traveling down vacuum-sealed tubes using magnetic levitation.
ET3 is car-sized vehicles. They enter the system through an airlock and then they accelerate up to speed with a linear electric motor and they merge into the flow of traffic just like a car merging onto the freeway. And then they can be independently routed anywhere in the system like packets of information are routed through the internet using automation techniques. So much more reliable, much safer than travel on freeways and much higher capacities. A single tube can have the capacity of 20 lanes of freeway traffic at 350 miles an hour.
In theory, ET3 can reach speeds of up to 4,000 miles per hour, more than 5 times the speed of sound, cutting the travel time from New York to Los Angeles down to 45 minutes. Those seemingly impossible speeds are made possible by the lack of resistance in the airless vacuum tubes, combined with magnetic levitation technologies developed by ET3 collaborator Professor Wang in China. His patented design uses superconductive magnets cooled with liquid nitrogen. ET3 might sound too good to be true, but Oster says that's just because it hasn't been done yet, and all the technology involved already exists.
Back in Henry Ford's day, it was the crazy neighbor that got the car and everybody laughed and made fun of him until they realized that they might be getting a little bit more work done in a day. It took maybe 30 years for that paradigm shift in transportation to occur. But there still is a lot of resistance when things are a little bit outside the normal paradigm.
The ET3 Open Consortium has raised millions of dollars already and currently consists of over 200 licensees in 16 countries, including top physicists from Japan, professors in China, and Frank Davidson, the visionary behind the Eurotunnel. The next step for the ET3 team is to build a pilot track.
Our focus is really building that first 3 miles that can prove all of the elements necessary for evacuated tube transport. A mile to accelerate the vehicle, a mile where it coasts and goes through a passive switch, then a mile to slow back down and recover that energy used for acceleration. About 90% of the acceleration energy can be recovered. And then with the airlocks to get people in and out of the system, that's going to take about $20 million to prove all of the elements that are scalable from that 3 miles up to 300 miles or 3,000 miles or 30,000 miles.
Oster and his team are in talks with various government and private agencies to develop the pilot track. Once the system is proven to work, they say it will only be a matter of time before evacuated tube travel becomes an earthly reality. In Longmont, Colorado, this is Dickie for Global Post.